Hey guys, Kevin here. You're with the Modern Creatures and welcome to another video. With a good number of high-quality portable cameras out there, you might be wondering why you'd need a big camera like the Sony PXW-FX9 or simply the FX9. Cameras like this one offer hardware and features that help you produce high-quality, cinema-like videos, which we'll get to in this review.
And yes, the Sony FX6 has just come out late last year, and we'll also be discussing the differences it has over the FX9.
But of course, if you enjoy videos like this, subscribe to our channel, and while at it, hit that bell icon so you'll be notified whenever we upload new videos.
At first glance, you'll be drawn to the plethora of buttons, knobs, switches, and ports that make it look like such a complicated device. It may seem intimidating seeing this scattered all over, but they do work together strategically and give you a faster workflow in the long run. You can prop the FX9 on your shoulder using an extension unit, and once you do, you'll find it isn't as heavy or big as it looks.
Sony says the FX9 took design cues from one of its popular cinema cameras, the FS7, and further refined it for better operation.
This section right here is where you'll be spending the most time while shooting, so this is where you'd want to get acquainted right away. Just like your usual DSLR and mirrorless cameras, you have control between manual and autofocus, your iris for controlling how much light enters the sensor, as well as ISO, white balance, and shutter speed buttons. Press any one of these and turn its rotating multifunction dial to change its values. Press the dial to select and that's basically it. You'll now be able to shoot some decent clips. All other buttons you see are either for mixing audio, its input, while everything else are just programmable buttons,
so you can easily switch between different shooting settings on the fly.
The power switch is right under here with the compartment for its dual XQD card slots right beside its audio level settings. Attachment for its battery pack is at the rear, while the right side mostly features its connectivity in terms of audio input and SDI out for attaching preview monitors. Up top, you have one of two record buttons with the other one on the side of the body for versatility of access. It also comes with an attachment to hold a microphone as well as a separate viewfinder that works best during sunny outdoor shoots.
During my entire time with it, I found its button placements ergonomic and easy to reach. And as mentioned earlier,
it has 10 user customizable buttons found all over its body that you can program as your go-to settings. Plus, all its buttons with auto modes have these indicator lights that let you know when they're activated.
These are small features and additions that work together to offer quick and efficient workflow whenever you're shooting.
The Sony FX9 carries features that try to marry the picture quality of its cinema cameras with the advanced autofocus technology of mirrorless shooters. It is capable of producing up to 4K resolution videos and supports slow motion at 4K 120fps and up to 180fps in 2K resolution.
What makes the FX9 special though is its capability to shoot in 6K and downsamples it to 4K but still retains information, and this results to a remarkable video quality.
It also has a wide dynamic range, which not only lets you get more info in both light and dark areas, but it also means you have more flexibility in color grading, which we'll talk about in just a bit. But if you're not keen on color grading, the FX9 also offers Sony's S-Cinetone color profile. This is based on Sony's Venice, which is highly regarded for its soft, natural, and cinematic tones. It's very convenient because you get straight up gorgeous color straight out of camera.
And apart from producing high quality videos, the FX9 also offers features that make shooting more convenient and faster.
Taking cues from its mirrorless siblings, the FX9 is equipped with fast hybrid autofocus. It's also Sony's first professional camera to offer its world-leading eye-tracking autofocus technology. Additionally, you can use the touch screen to select the subject you want to focus on. There are also different levels of speed for autofocus and varying levels of shift sensitivity.
Really useful for those smooth rack focus.
One of our favorite features on the Sony FX9 is its electronic variable ND filter, a world's first. The camera has a neutral density or ND filter built in that you can adjust using buttons on the camera. You can also set it to automatic and let the camera decide on which settings to use.
And this makes it really easy to keep proper exposure, especially during fast-paced shooting scenarios. So for example, if you're following a subject from a dark interior to a bright exterior, the filter will automatically adjust and compensate so you don't get an overblown image. Really useful.
For audio, you get XLR support and have a variety of connectivity and transferring options, including smartphone control, FTP transfer, air uploads, LAN ports, and more.
And apart from all the tech and features it boasts, picture quality is definitely what the FX9 mainly sells, and is also one of the main reasons why you'd go for a cinema camera.
The FX9 produces colors that look very natural. Starting from the skin tone, what you get is almost a faithful reproduction of images in real life. The way the light touches the skin and has its different shades, you easily see those details when shooting with the FX9.
This is why it's no wonder that the Sony FX9 has been approved by Netflix for use in its TV shows and movies as it passed their capture requirements.
And with its available color profiles, you're able to tweak and gain control of your footage through fine-tuning each shot according to your preference.
This leads us to post-processing, and between me and Vika,
She does more editing work, so here are her thoughts after color grading some footage.
Hey guys! So, playing around with the raw footage in DaVinci Resolve showed just how receptive the footage from the FX9 really is. It was fun to be able to grade images in a bunch of different ways without the fear of losing information. The FX9 gives you up to 15 extra stops in dynamic range, so with shots that either look too bright or too dark, you'll be surprised at how easy it is to recover highlights and shadows as long as the footage is exposed correctly. The wide dynamic range of the FX9 is even visible as a waveform while editing, and you can see how much information is preserved. What this available information means is that you'll be able to control them and have more wiggle room for coloring and changing its general look. In contrast, videos shot by smartphones in standard format have way less information. So once an area becomes too bright or maybe too dark, there's really not much you can do about it. On top of that, its large sensor also produces sharper, cleaner details that make for easier keying or tracking during post-production or the editing part. For example, in this clip, I used tracking and a color picker for the car so I could individually enhance its color. I was also able to key out the sky and make the details come out without affecting the rest of the image, and fellow editors would know that this is a really useful feature to have. And lastly, the color of the leaves you see here have been tweaked for a more stylized look. Together, this is the final color. The freedom in color grading is achieved thanks to its 16-bit raw output versus 8-bit on the compact Sony a7 III. And if detailed color grading isn't really your thing, you can just stick to the built-in S-Cinetone color profile. Since out of camera, it already looks flattering, especially for human subjects, and produces very natural colors with little to no adjustments.
these are definitely great, but Sony also launched the FX6 late last year, and it's more positioned as the transitional camera from a mirrorless to a cinema camera. So here are some key differences the FX9 has over the FX6 to just give you a quick idea which camera is more for your needs.
So first and foremost is that the FX9 shoots 6K resolution and downsamples it to 4K for better detail versus the FX6 maxing at 4K recording. The FX9 also has a super 35mm 4K crop for that cine look, as well as the capability of recording interlaced video.
Although these days, there's not much use for that other than traditional broadcasting.
You also have a locking E-mount lens for the FX9, which I think is a safer way to attach and remove lenses.
But one major advantage of the FX6 over the FX9 is that the FX6 is able to output RAW straight from its body, unlike the FX9, which still needs an XDCA adapter, and that's another thing that you need to spend your money on. And as always in our reviews, The Modern Creatures aims to find special features and devices that make them worth having. A creature feature, if you will. And for the Sony FX9, it would definitely have to be its electronic variable ND filter and S-Cinetone color profile.
The electronic variable ND filter is something we haven't worked with before, and we really love how it makes shooting outdoors a lot more convenient with very little corrections to be done in post.
And with this kind of tech on board, gone are the days of overexposed skies and underexposed subjects.
Paired with Sony's S-Cinetone color profile, the FX9 makes it easy to achieve cinema-grade shots without too much effort. Truly, there's so much more the FX9 offers inside and out, especially if you want to get into the nitty-gritty details. The quality of images it produces is a real treat for the eyes, especially if you've been used to shooting with mirrorless cameras like us. Its size causes it to be a bit heavy, but with the shoulder mount and a bit of practice, it's easy to get used to.
Of course, the Sony FX9 is not for everyone, but if you're taking that next step in videography or content creation, then definitely the Sony FX9 should be on your radar.
The FX9 gives a very good glimpse into the world of cinema cameras, and if you value quality above all else, then that's already a good enough reason to upgrade.
And that was our Sony PXW-FX9 review. As always, visit our website and follow us on our social media pages for more news, features, and reviews. Once again, that's it for me. I'm Kevin. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.